and welcome back to Dangerous Flashing, episode 81. I'm Chris Cooper. That's Jim Carney. It's been a while.
He's rusty. Leave him alone.
I didn't have a stroke. I forgot who I was.
Well, it was more of Dangerous Fly lingo.
Yeah, Dangerous Fly. You want to try again? No, we won't try again. I'll hit the song. Wait, what? No. So, hi.
Cooper's back.
I'm here.
We missed you, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you. It's
Fatherhood Johnson, I guess, is what his excuse will be.
Yeah.
I think he passed what little brains he had on to his son.
let's hope so.
Let's hope a little more.
True. Well, hopefully a lot more,
Yeah,
considering
there
my
you
wife
go.
is smart. Yeah, she's smart.
Yeah, absolutely. Very intelligent young lady.
But yeah, we had our son on the 2nd. Little 7-pound, 4-ounce, 20-inch long baby.
Oh, just a little guy.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yep, a little guy.
My mom actually sent a picture of me from the when I was born, from the hospital, and his and mine are very, very similar.
It's almost identical.
It's almost like you were both babies.
Yeah,
And
but
related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
yeah. So it's more weird because I had really dark black hair at that time, and he currently does as well, and a lot of it.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. Both you and Amanda have dark hair. So if the kid came out with red hair, you might want to be asking some questions.
No, that would make sense for my family.
Oh, that's fair, too.
So, yeah. But, yeah, everybody's home. We're all happy. We're all healthy. We're all crying a lot.
All of you are crying?
Oh, yeah. All of us are crying.
Wow.
But it's good. It's definitely something I would recommend.
Pass.
Also, something I would say if you don't want a kid, definitely don't have one.
Yeah,
So,
they seem like they're quite the commitment.
yeah, considering
Yeah.
like forever
Only 18 years.
minimum.
That's when it really starts at 18 years.
Right.
Legally obligated up to 18.
Yeah.
After that, it's just love.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, no, he's been pretty good to us so far. Has a little bit of an issue here and there going to sleep at night because he sleeps a lot during the day, but babies.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, he pretty much eats, sleeps, and poops.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
how long did it take you before he peed on you?
Within 8 hours of him being alive.
Oh, yeah.
Well, born. So yeah, pretty quick.
Yeah.
Got to be quick on that, man.
Yeah.
I actually was very speedy on it. I was changing him, actually. I got the opportunity to change his first diaper. Gross. And that's when it happened. Well, the first diaper I changed, we'll put it that way, because we sent him to the nursery our first night.
Yeah, the little incubator.
after. Not an incubator, but
Yeah.
it's a nursery.
Yeah, you stick them in the little things with the heat lamps. It seems like an incubator.
Nope.
No.
But anyway, so then I changed him. Anyway, gross. Then he peed on my arm. But I was quick with it because I already had the other diaper ready, so I just kind of cover up, Felt bad for the little guy. They had to prick his feet I don't want to say 8 to 10 times within 2 days of us being, once he was born, because Amanda, my wife, being diabetic, they had to make sure he was able to adjust to being on his own now,
Okay.
instead of having insulin plus mom, like all the extra stuff that he didn't have before. So they wanted to make sure he could manage his own levels per se. So his feet were all pricked up pretty bad, but look better now.
That's good.
Yeah. So, but anyway, and then I just been off. I took a week off of work the week he was born. Went back to work, and then I haven't been here just because I've been doing dad stuff.
Sure,
So,
sure.
trying to be around.
Nerd. How dare you be a good father to your child?
know.
We'll have to cut your pay, of course, because you missed some time. But,
Exactly.
Yeah.
No vacations here, buddy.
That's fair. But I will say that you guys did a great job without me,
Aw, thanks.
even though I didn't listen to them. So there's that.
Really? Because you missed a barnstormer last weekend.
So actually, Ross was talking to me. Ross stopped over the house today. before we came here actually, and he was telling me that Jim went on a nice long talk, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful story that is now immemorialized.
Yeah. It was hidden for all these years, and now here the world knows.
I'm gonna have to listen back and
It's worth a listen.
good.
Yeah.
So episode 80.
Yeah.
If anybody missed it, that's listening to this one besides me, go back.
Yeah. Second segment,
talk.
all Jim's story about the naked fisherman.
So I saw the caption or the episode title, and I was like, "Huh, okay."
That
Don't
didn't draw
know.
you in?
I was busy. I was catching up on my soap operas and whatnot, and trying to get back into the slew of things. What's the word for that? Swing.
Swing of things.
Yeah, sure. I don't like it. I like slew.
I don't know what it's
That is not correct. Neither's Lou.
Nah, I'll lose my uncle. Anyway, what do we have going on this episode, Joint? Gents?
Well-
boy, words are hard.
You're struggling, buddy.
Yeah,
You
you
need
are
one?
struggling.
Yeah,
We have
I've only had one caffeinated beverage today, not including coffee because coffee's
that's
coffee.
Just, yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't count.
coffee doesn't count. We're continuing our Eastern Fly Hatch tonight. We have 2 new flies for everybody. And then I guess we might as well start off with a couple tournament announcements. One is the Muskies Inc. Chapter 64 is the tournament I call the Mini Beast now has a name. It's called Muskie Marathon, but it's essentially the same tournament as the Beast, except it's open to all tackle.
Boo.
I don't like that.
It's also a different time format. I think it starts at 7 a.m. on Saturday, June 6th, and then ends Sunday, June 7th at noon.
So you
Wow.
can fish.
There's no closed hours, so basically you can
36
sleep on your
straight.
boat and, yeah.
Oh, no closed, like from this time, this day
Yep.
until the next day at this time,
Yeah.
Open the whole time.
open fishing.
So it's, yeah.
Wow.
I think it's 29 hours,
Yeah,
technically.
something like that.
So, yeah, you can 29-hour nonstop fish if you want.
Wow.
Are there any? I know you said it's all tackle. Are there any specifics in regards to? Well, you might not know yet, but like additional catch, bycatch, and stuff like that. Are they doing any of that?
It's not as organized of a tournament like registrations at the Ty Nesta Army Corps Engineers parking lot.
Oh, it's not online or anything.
Yeah, but actually I think it is on Fish Donkey now.
Oh,
But it's basically, yeah, that's how they're doing all their tournaments, I guess, moving forward. Which, hey, if it works, great.
Yeah.
But it's historically, it's not anywhere near as organized as the Beast. It's kind of just like, hey, we're doing this thing. Winner takes 40% and then 30 and 20 or whatever, and the rest goes to Muskie Inc.
gotcha.
It's nowhere near as formalized. There's no banquet or raffles or anything like that.
What?
It's basically, just get out, go fish, and maybe you win some money if you win.
I mean, that's fine and all, but I like banquets and raffles.
The banquet is very nice.
Yeah.
The Beast, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, the Beast is definitely my hands down my favorite tournament. Kentucky coming in second. Like Kentucky, they're
Maybe one of these tournaments we'll catch fish.
historically not going to happen.
How dare you? Not
I'm
with
just
that
saying.
attitude.
I know, right?
Well, I have big hopes because the week after the Muskie Marathon, Dixon and I are apparently going to fish the All Fins In tournament.
What's that?
It's put on by TCO, and it's, I think, June 13th and 14th. They dropped the price to enter because I think last time, I talked to Chris about it. It was like $600 per team or something ridiculous like that.
That's a lot of dollars.
Well, now it's only, I think, $150 per team.
That's much more reasonable.
The All Fins In tournament
Yeah.
is fly fishing only because it's put on by TCO Fly Shop.
Uh-huh.
And it's kind of similar to the Muskie Marathon in that it starts, I think, Saturday at noon and ends Sunday at noon.
Okay.
No done hours, so you can fish the whole time. But what's kind of weird about it is it's basically any species of fish you can catch on a fly rod.
So all fins in.
Yeah.
Ah.
So trout,
I get it.
muskie, pike, carp, bass.
So I'm going
works.
to assume that the different fish have different point scales.
So I think there are points based upon some bonus points based upon rarity, but I think like the deciding factor is basically they only take your longest fish of a species.
Okay.
So you can't go catch 3 50-inch muskies and basically be like, oh, I have 150 inches of fish. Only one muskie counts.
They kind of like shotgun it, like
Okay.
this guy won the trout, this guy won bass.
No, it's just like a cumulative of all species.
Oh, so you got to catch like one of each.
One of each, essentially. So, if you go fish for muskie, you catch your muskie after 2 hours, then it's like, oh, you got to beat feet. Well, I mean, you could probably still fish for bass there, but, to go get your trout, you're going to have to go find a trout stream. So it's kind of, they take
hard to find around TCO.
I know, right? But they take the largest fish that your team catches of a species.
That's pretty cool.
So if you catch like a 50-inch muskie, a 36-inch pike, that's 86 inches. Say you catch a 42-inch carp, onward, upward.
And that goes for, say you catch, just a number, 10 different species for this whole tournament.
Yep.
Each one of them count regardless of
one,
length.
though, right?
One of each.
Yeah. I'm saying 10 different species, so you have 10 fish at that
so
point.
if you catch
that works?
perch, crappie, largemouth, smallmouth, carp, pike, muskie, rainbow, brown, brook trout. That's 10 lengths.
So the different breeds of trout,
Different species. Yep.
species of trout count.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's 10. That would be 10 measurements you get. And the perch are going to be 5. Maybe the muskie's 36.
Okay.
The pike's 28. But that's you get 10 fish measured, which builds, which means, if one guy went out and caught 3 muskie, only one counts.
Right,
So
right. Yeah,
even if it's a huge muskie.
And then you said rarity also plays a factor.
I think so.
So say we go and Ross catches a tiger trout and it's 16 inches long.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I'm not 100% on the rarity.
more?
I feel
What do
like
we-
they did that before with rarity,
Yeah.
where I think there was bonus points afforded. Yeah, because obviously if you're pulling in a muskie, that's a lot harder to do than, like a bass or something.
Yeah. This sounds, maybe it is the exact same tournament that you told me about maybe last year or something, but it sounds like the same one you told me about, but it was all the entire state of
It
Pennsylvania.
is the entire state.
Oh, so this is the
that
same
tournament,
one.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It is the entire state. The only thing is you have to start at Axman Brewery in Bellefonte.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can go fish anywhere, but you have to be back at Axman in Bellefonte by noon on Sunday.
Okay. So fishing anywhere in the state is unrealistic.
It depends how fast you drive.
Depends. Well, that's the other thing is I think I read it in the rules. If you basically get a speeding ticket or whatever, you can be disqualified. I'm sure it's within. I'm sure it's
Yeah. How are they going to know?
I don't know.
You going to advertise that to the cop?
I don't know.
Oh, don't call this tournament for me because I'll get disqualified. Meh.
I don't know, but that was in the rules. Is you have to follow local traffic laws and blah blah blah. AKA don't fly 10 million miles an hour. But yeah, you can fish the whole state. So it literally could go to Axman and then turn around and come back and fish our local waters here.
Just hammer it. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, right?
Yeah. I mean, are you as a team allowed to split up and hit different, 2 separate vehicles? Okay, you go here, I'll go here. I'll catch a trout, you catch a muskie.
I don't believe so. I think you have to be together.
Okay. But again, how are they going to know?
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it's one of those things where, if I'm fishing with Dixon and guys see Dixon and there's no me, they may be like, hey, wait a minute, where's Dixon's teammate? Because we know Dixon's fishing this.
and they know you wouldn't be in the woods taking a dump because you don't do that.
Exactly.
To answer your question on the scoring, Coop, I'm looking it up right now. It goes off kind of like a point scale, brown trout under 12 inches is worth 2 points.
Yep.
Brown trout
Okay.
over 18 inches is 5. So there's kind of brackets for each fish.
Okay.
In comparison, where's the tiger muskie over 30 inches is worth 10 points. So
That's it?
yeah,
Over 30?
over 30.
If you catch a tiger trout, period.
Muskie.
Muskie, he
Muskie.
said.
Oh, I thought you said tiger trout.
Nope,
No.
tiger muskie.
Tiger.
There is
Tiger muskie. I'm sorry.
yeah, there is a section for tiger trout though.
Well, I would hope so.
I haven't
Species.
I haven't caught one of them yet.
I think they're mainly out in eastern PA.
Never seen.
Oh, they catch them around or State College all the time.
Oh, really?
There's so many brook trout up there, yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. They catch them in the blue lines quite a bit.
More blue line fishing when I can walk again.
So
Yeah.
is a tiger trout kind of like the pike and muskie crossbreed, except with a brook and a brown trout?
Yeah,
Is it actually brook and brown?
I believe it is.
Oh, wow.
brook and brown.
Yeah, it's
There you go.
brook and brown.
I've been seeing those
never
pop
caught
up
one
more,
either.
but
Phenomenal pattern. on it.
Yeah.
There it is crazy looking, but I love it.
yeah, there was a he was probably out. Oh, what was he fishing? The yellow breeches.
Mm-hmm.
I think he caught one out of there, and it was just a gorgeous fish.
Yeah.
I saw it on Instagram, and I was a little jealous.
Yeah. I've never caught one.
We got to add that to the list, Jim.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's on the top of the list.
Actually, Dolly Varden and Arctic char and grayling, then tiger trout.
I actually still think that we should
I don't know the first fish he said.
It's a
Dolly Lama?
Dolly Varden.
Dolly Parton?
Oh,
Dolly Varden.
Dolly
Varden.
Parton. Oh.
No,
Varden with a V.
Yeah, Varden. They're Arctic fish, Arctic circle fish.
I still think we should go back
Sounds
to,
awfully
remember
close
long,
to
long time ago when we first got the pontoon boat, we were talking about putting like almost like a score tally board of,
Yeah, the stickers.
with the different fish species. I think we need to go back to that idea.
I'm not opposed to it.
Maybe just put like a whiteboard up on one of these walls and we can just have a camera point at it and show where we all stand.
Yeah.
There is one. Hey, it's another guy I follow on. Or I don't so much follow him because he spin fishes, but he is like the old school like PA Fish and Game kind of posters where it's like, oh, these are all the fish species in Pennsylvania, and he's got like little check marks that he pins onto them, and he's traveling around the state catching every fish in PA, which he's cheating because he's using a spin casting rod, but
Yeah,
it's pretty
I mean,
cool.
It's still pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would when we originally talked about it, I think we were talking about including saltwater too. But
yeah, and tallies and stuff.
yeah,
I'm not opposed to it.
I think maybe we should pursue that and have our own little all fins in thing and basically see who can catch every fish in PA first.
We could probably organize a dangerous all fins catch type. We could probably do that. I don't see why not. It seems pretty simple.
Oh yeah, it can't be that hard. Geez, I mean, fly fishermen are doing it.
It'll just be all fly fishing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the only thing would, I'd assume it would have to be a somewhat not a regional competition. It would, like, because our listeners are pretty well spread out
National.
over the country, and we even have some international.
Yep.
So we'd have to kind of figure out what species are common.
We would have to regulate it to the states
Why?
And
because America. That's why.
Just better make sure an American team wins. That's all I'm saying.
we're running the tournament. We can
Don't worry, they will.
Sorry,
Wait a minute, something smells fishy around here.
How weird.
it's the fish.
So what's new with you guys? I mean, I've talked to you guys, but I haven't seen. Well, Jim, I haven't seen you or talked to you in a while.
Yeah.
We don't talk every day, unfortunately. What's new?
Not a whole lot. I've spent a lot of money this spring
What?
buying flies. Went through my boxes and was missing a lot of flies that I use, so I spent a lot of money. But I now have about 50-some musky flies.
Nice.
All I need to do is get my outfit put together, and I can start that. And I'm kind of looking forward to that. And I haven't gone to camp the last couple of weeks because it's rained on Saturday, and
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been poopy.
yeah, I've been just keeping track, reading a lot on the internet. The green drake's a good fly to talk about tonight because according to the feathered hook out in Coburn, the green drakes are ready to pop about any time here.
Yeah, I think we actually plan on talking about the green drake. So that's one of the first flies. That is the first fly we're talking about. I think you mentioned already. But have you gotten a reel or anything?
No,
you're
I haven't
still waiting.
had a chance.
Okay.
We've both been hobbled this spring. It's pretty ridiculous, his knees. And I basically just started driving again. So
Okay. Well, yeah, Matt, just stay off your knees a little while and we'll be okay.
Turns out that's not apparently how they work.
Yeah,
So,
depends.
I haven't done jack crap because I haven't been able to walk. And ironically, my bad knee, the one I went for an MRI for Monday, is now my good knee.
Okay.
They've traded. Now my right knee's the size of a cantaloupe. My left knee looks normal and is functioning pretty normal. So, yeah, I'm screwed.
You think it's for like compensation? Like you're
Yeah, would be my guess.
Okay.
I think doing a lot of stairs because basically my poor other leg takes all the load doing stairs for the most part.
So you mean to tell me that your shillelagh hasn't helped you enough?
I haven't used it the past few days, which may also be part of the problem.
Maybe.
Doing it to yourself,
The
bud.
problem is once I can walk again, I want to walk.
but you can walk with a beaten stick.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, do any fishing?
I have done 0 fishing.
All
I
right,
was thinking
next.
about doing that. I was thinking about doing there was that muskie tournament up in Pymatooning.
Oh, yeah,
Thinking
you
about
texted me
doing,
about
'cause I
that, yeah.
messaged you to see if you could do it, and then
I said no.
you said no, and then I was like, my knees don't feel good enough. I'm going to call it good. Plus, the vehicle I needed to drag the boat up there just had like $3,000 in repairs done to it today.
Well, I feel like that's gonna happen with a vehicle that has over 350,000 miles.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just breaking in, man.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah,
breaking in.
I mean,
the diesel engine, to be
Yeah.
fair.
the powertrain is immaculate. It's just a
Well, you
wheel-
always said that the motor is definitely going to outrun the body.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. No, I just apparently my lifetime warranty wheel bearings both gave out, so they had to replace both of those. And
For free.
the part was free. I had to pay for the
Labor, of course.
but I also got 4 new tires because
Oh, boy.
when the one wheel bearing apparently was about ready to fall off the vehicle, that one was causing the tire to wear exclusively on the outside.
Makes sense.
Checks out.
So
It's fun. It's funny you actually say that because at work today's Wednesday.
Yep.
Sure.
Yes. So for us, not you, I was outside and talking with another employee there, and I looked at her vehicle and I was like, "Holy crap! Your rear wheels are bald on the outside. Like they're just cockeyed, real bad." And literally, I'm like looking at it, and I get a little bit further down, the banding's poking through.
Jeez.
And I'm like, holy crap. And I went to like touch it. Huge mistake. Don't do
Stabbed
that.
yourself.
Yeah, those are
immediately.
sharp.
I bled for 35 minutes. Now, granted, it was just a little pinhole, like single, thank God. But it was nonstop, and I was poking and prying at it to make sure there was nothing stuck in it. Luckily, there wasn't. That banding was stuck in that tire still. So, yeah, she needs new tires.
Yeah.
In a hurry.
Well, one of my biggest problems is as Ross can attest with my prior F-250 is the
Yes.
trucks are so large and powerful that when something goes wrong, they just keep going. Because like my F-250, the rotor split in half,
Yeah.
and I heard a weird noise and was like, "What the hell's that noise?" I turned around, went back home, and pull in, take a look, and I'm like, "What happened to my rotor?" The rotor just like sheared in half and was like wobbling around back there.
Was it just that worn? Like you didn't
I don't know.
replace
It
it soon enough?
literally
Or did it?
sheared right down the middle.
Oh, not from like wear.
No, it just
Like
sheared.
this is a malfunction almost.
His caliper seized,
Oh.
and it hot cold cycle.
Yeah.
Just cracked right down the center.
Oh,
But
fun.
yeah, like I have a rotor basically banging around off everything back there, and that truck's like, "Yeah, I don't care. The wheel still turns. We're going." Because I'm pretty sure had I been driving a less powerful vehicle, I probably would have noticed the wheel bearings were kaput. Because it turns out, like I think I told him, like I was like, "Oh, I think the brakes are sticking," so I tore it all apart on I think Saturday, and pull it all off and go to turn the rotor or the wheel bearing where the studs are.
Yeah, wheel bearing.
And I start turning it and it like catches and I can't turn it. So I'm like, like using all my force to move it. And I'm like, that may explain that sound. And meanwhile, like you get in the truck and drive it and the truck's like, I don't even notice anything's wrong, man.
What noise? I don't hear anything. Blast right through it. I remember the F-250 because you and I got stuck in a few different places, like going out drinking and stuff. And I think your mom and dad actually came and picked us up. If not both of them came and picked us up more than once. So I remember those good old times.
That was an electrical issue in the doors.
Oh, yeah. No, it was like the main cable. Well, Tim came to get us the first time.
Yeah, we were stuck in Youngstown.
I was
both times.
Yeah, Ross was there the first time.
Yeah.
Fun place to be. If anybody doesn't know, look up Youngstown, Ohio, and you'll understand why we were not safe.
It's a
I mean, we were okay, but
It's a very classy and diverse city.
Well, this was before they actually like made the downtown where people actually wanted to go there. So
True.
This was before that.
there was only a few places. That's actually why we were going there, was because there was a few places that were kind of new and up and coming. We were both single. It was a whole thing. But
Yeah, truck. There was like corrosion or something in one of the main wires that for some reason nobody could find the problem. I threw thousands of dollars at it
Yeah.
with like 5 different mechanics.
Turns out it was just the window button.
No, it was the main. It was one of the main electrical cables coming from the battery.
Fun. We can dive into another story another time.
Yeah, we actually probably better take our first break and then come back with the flies.
We can after I ask Ross how he's doing,
right.
and how he's been. How has he been fishing wise as well?
I'm doing great.
Okay,
Been trying to get out on the streams as much as I can. Mostly been trying to get out like early mornings when I get off of work. I'm scouting new streams for the nephew. Found a couple of them that they weren't very well populated. I think they're more stock streams, but very easily wadeable. So hopefully I can find some more fish. That's a microphone, buddy.
Sorry,
It's okay. Doesn't bother me none.
I'm new. I'm new here.
First day. But no, I'm still struggling with finding the right presentation with the streamers. And I think my fly selection, as usual, is a little on the large side. I just can't break myself off of that for some reason.
Yeah.
It's fun. You know, I like throwing big streamers. And while they are designed for trophy trout, there's probably not that many trophy trout in the creeks that I'm fishing. Which is
What streamers are you throwing?
a lot of zonkers, a lot of leeches.
What size?
I've started moving them down. At first, I was starting off with like I'd call it like a small 4, a large 6.
Jesus.
Yeah. I was
You were hunting.
Yeah.
I was chucking some meat. Well, that's when
Well, that's what you're supposed to do with streamers.
yeah, exactly. And that was like
If you're looking for large fish with streamers, and you need a large minnow to entice them.
exactly. And when I was throwing those sizes, that was right after like the Lunker Fun stockings and all that,
Yeah.
where they're putting out like fish that
tanks.
would take
Yeah.
that.
For sure.
But now that it's moved on past the times to where there's more actual wild fish, more accessible / less stocked fish, I moved it down to like probably around an 8 or a 10 is my most common size.
Okay.
Mostly 8s because that's what I tied up a lot of.
There's a guy I've been following on Facebook,
Mhm.
and he's really into the blue lines, and he uses a very tiny white streamer,
Yeah,
and he's got a few hundred so far this year.
that's
That's
Awesome.
all he uses. White, looks like it's got flash in it, and a little. I mean, it's little, and I've often wondered if that wasn't the right size to go to, because I usually use 10s and maybe 12s of the marabou streamer. That's my favorite, the marabou streamer.
yeah. I've started playing around with a couple of those too.
Yeah.
I just haven't got the balance right on it.
Yeah.
They come out kind of chunky, more pear shaped than fish shaped, but
Yeah.
that's all in the fly tying.
Well, that's why I was wondering what size you were using, because in my experience, most minnows you see in trout streams tend to be a little on the smaller side.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's I just got to scale it down, which
Yeah.
I hate doing. It's no fun tying small flies. I don't know why.
Right.
But no,
They sell magnifying glasses.
they do.
Like
I-
this?
I have a couple of them actually.
That's a jeweler's lens.
It is a
Magnifies, does it not?
It does, but I'm talking about a magnifying lens for a bench.
Just saying.
Got those, but no, like the white zonkers. If I'm fishing a streamer, first thing I throw is a white zonker. It's
Yeah.
such a great attractor pattern for every trout species I've ever come across.
Yeah.
Like I still use that for steelhead all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get more into like the dace patterns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A couple little olive colored little I'll call them wool bugs just because they don't really look fishy to me. They're more of like the sculpin wool, but they're not actual sculpins. But
Yeah. I never got into those. I tied the marabous, and I tried a few muddler minnows, which is the first fly I ever used was a muddler minnow.
yeah,
But it was bought from Penn Traffic. It wasn't anything I tied
right.
because I never got the deer hair right and everything, so I used the muddlers. And Rattlesnake Run over in Brockway, near where our cabin's at, our hunting cabin,
Mhm.
I had many a many good day using a white marabou, just twitching it through there, through the holes and things like that. I had many good days.
Yeah, I need to get better at the marabou because that's one of those materials. There's no better action.
Oh,
than
no.
marabou. It's just beautiful in the water. But I just got to hit the stream more. That's
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Therein lies the rub.
That's
Yeah.
that's always the answer.
Yeah,
Yep.
just fish more, you'll be more successful.
Truth.
But no, I kind of compared to that point, working on been getting the bike ready since it's riding season again, and have
Yeah.
kind of figured out I think a good idea on how to carry around a fly pack and a rod. So
Oh, yeah.
hopefully I'll be able to bomb it around the little mountain roads, because all the access roads now are at least gravel, and
Yeah.
as long as I'm not ripping down them, should be good to take a Sportster on those.
So you're saying I got to put the battery back in mine, huh?
No, you need to get your knees healed up first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Grandpa.
If anything, Ross, just get one of those fishing backpacks. That should work out just fine.
It would if I wasn't me.
Fair.
I don't like them.
Oh, okay.
That's my next passion project after I get tired of building fly rods, is I'm going to actually design a fishing pack that actually works for me.
Well, I'm saying you could literally just get this fishing backpack and just put your sling pack in it and your fly rod on the side. Just strap it down with the existing straps on the backpack and just use it to transport. That was all I was getting at.
What I'm thinking right now is slapping a sissy bar on the back of it,
Okay.
and it's got like the tapered cone,
Mhm.
and the fly pack that I use has that nice tapered net holder.
Oh,
So
just
just-
slide it down through.
Slap it on there, and the only thing I need to do is figure out how to secure a fly rod tube and a net.
Or you could do the sissy bar and then buy a Harley luggage.
I could.
Because I have the Harley luggage, and the big one would definitely fit pretty much all your fishing stuff.
That is one of my options. That does not give me a good. I don't want to hang the net and the rod tube horizontally.
No, I know. I would set them in to the luggage vertically.
Yeah, I haven't. I'll take a look at yours during the break, because I was actually going to ask you about that. I'm glad you brought it up.
Now I got to find it. Crap.
Never mind.
But yeah, we can go ahead and take a break real quick.
Yeah.
All right. Guess we'll see you guys in a few.
Alrighty.
And welcome back to Dangerous Fly Fishing episode 81. I'm Chris Cooper. That's Jim Carney. How are you, sir?
Doing well, thanks.
Boy, that was a lot better. Also in studio, we have Mr. Matt Carney as well as Ross Lyskoka. How are you, sirs?
Doing great. Jealous of your button pushing abilities, because I may or may not have messed that up a couple times.
I'm a whiz.
Yeah, but you could at least speak words.
Kind of.
I did good just now.
Yeah, you did. Second time's a charm. An inglorious welcome back for Chris Cooper, as he
Yes.
can't speak
Hello. Thank
words.
Busted the rust off. It's fine.
Yeah.
Part of the charm.
you. That intro was a lot better. So let's dive into what we said we were going to talk about with these fly patterns.
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's start with you, Matt.
Well, first up is we're going to start with the Green Drake. It's the World Series of Fly Fishing for the state of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, we've mentioned that. Yeah.
Draws quite a number of people to Central PA for most of the Drake catches. They tend to be a little more prolific over there, more so than I think anywhere else in the state.
Yeah, over here in the western end, we
I
don't
don't even
have
know if there is a Green Drake catch.
I don't think we have anywhere that has a green drake hatch. Have you noticed?
I've not seen him, but I can't believe that Oil Creek, as one, wouldn't have it. And
Well, they tend to prefer cleaner water, and Oil
Yeah.
Creek is not a very clean creek, as its name implies.
Hasn't been in past years, but I've seen that little pamphlet you gave me a couple weeks ago. They are cleaning it up to some extent.
yeah,
I'm not saying it's not getting better.
It's getting better. Maybe not as good for green drakes yet.
yeah.
I'm just saying, it got its name from oil bubbling up into the creek.
That's efficiency. Don't even have to drill it.
Yeah, it's right there for the taking.
Exactly. Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah.
Did you ever see any on the Shannock? That's another one.
I
but
have not.
No.
That's a lot of agricultural drainage there.
Yeah, you're not wrong at all.
You mean the Amish?
No, there's a lot of other agriculture. Respectable agriculture, I'll say.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just teasing about the Amish.
We always tease.
It's not teasing, it's the truth.
They're the worst.
So, wow.
Yeah, green drakes.
So
Speak more about the green drakes.
So, as I mentioned, the green drakes tend to like cleaner water, so they're a little more selective in where they're found. The nymphs are very good swimmers. They tend to associate with gravel, sand, silt, or mud in moderately fast to slow water.
So not really rocky, rapidy areas?
Yeah, they seem more like a mud bug.
Okay.
So they like the slower water, which may be why they seem like they're good swimmers, because they're always swimming in slower water than every other nymph.
Makes sense.
But, so yeah, they're kind of a bit more of a mud bug. So unlike a lot of our other flies that we have talked about, they are not going to be as found as much in the rapids in their nymphal state.
Okay.
They hatch very quickly. On their way to hatch, they tend to drift quite a fair amount. So when they kind of let go and start to go, they drift a fair amount before they actually break the surface. But basically, they are just popping up and hatching, and that's it. So merger patterns are not real big for green drakes
Okay.
because they don't spend a lot of time. They're basically, once they're up there, they're boop, I'm out, and then your fishing is done.
Yeah. What was the fly pattern we were talking about a couple weeks ago that was another extremely fast hatching fly?
Well, that one was fast to take off, but no, I don't recall.
The sulfurs.
I think it was the sulfurs and the
Sulfurs,
Cahills were
for
both
sure.
very
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
All right, I do recall.
Yeah. I'm glad you do. I knew it was one of them.
But so that, yeah, basically they're going to emerge from the water. They're not going to hang around a lot. They're basically going to merge and then fly away pretty quickly, typically in the late afternoon or evening.
Mm-hmm.
So they tend to mate in large swarms and lay eggs in the evening and night. They lay the eggs in moderately fast to slower water. So again, kind of their jam is moderately fast to slow water. I'd say that's in the evening and night. For those who've ever fished a green drake hatch, there's a metric crap ton of those things.
Yeah, you had said a couple times when you were describing it to me that, like, everybody kind of hangs out during the afternoon, and, like, you can kind of see everybody waiting to run out into the stream when things start hatching, and, like, kind of almost as soon as the sun starts going down, like a biblical swarm comes up and just...
Yep, pretty much. Like, guys literally will show up hours early to basically chalk their little point of the shoreline to get optimum positioning for when the hatch happens. Like I said, evening, late afternoon, typically when it happens. Interesting thing with the green drakes, though, is they tend to be out and about for about 3 days.
Oh, they live that long?
Yeah, so they're
Okay.
kind of one of the longer living mayflies, I guess. So they'll be out and about for 3 days doing their thing, exploring. They tend to mate in...
Now sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I did interrupt. Is that in total, or are we talking after hatch? Like from nymph to...
After hatch.
Okay.
Yeah. So... now you made me lose my train of thought.
Sorry.
So they mate in swarms, drop the eggs back on the water. They're not a dive to the bottom and swim type one. They're an aerial bombardment one.
Okay.
The spinner fall tends to be extremely intense. If you've ever fished a green drake hatch, you're going to be aware of that because it's kind of an interesting experience because you're kind of standing in the middle of a trout stream with basically bat-sized flies flying around you and dropping out of the sky.
Well, that's the highlight of the hatch is the spinner fall,
Okay.
or the coffin flies, as they're called.
Yep.
I've fished many a time and see the duns hatch, Kettle Creek, even Fishing Creek. And one of the problems that the duns are so large, you're talking an 8 or a 10, which is huge.
And it's a 3XL, 2 to 3XL hook, too.
Yeah.
And I've seen at Kettle Creek where a trout would have to come up and attack a dun 2 or 3 times before he could take it.
Oh, wow.
So that's one of the things that where the dun is not anywhere near the importance that the coffin fly is.
So you want to if you want to be more successful, target a spinner pattern.
Yes,
Coffin
absolutely.
flies.
And it comes right at the last light of the day, unfortunately. And when Jim and I went 2 or 3 years ago, we decided that we were going to fish the green drake hatch, and we went up for 4 or 5 days up to my cabin, and we fished from Pine Creek the whole way down to Penns Creek. And the only stream that had any trout feeding on these flies that were coming off was Fishing Creek and Young Woman. Well, not Young Woman's Creek. It had a blurry a flurry of bugs returning to the stream, and not a single fish rose when we were fishing Young Woman's Creek.
Oh, wow.
It was pretty amazing. And we were in Pine Creek, and the same thing. They were coming back, not heavy, but enough that they should have been really causing a lot of fish rise, and we never saw fish rise there either.
That's kind of strange.
That was kind of towards the end of the hatch, and I've asked a number of guys, do trout ever get full of eating mayflies, particularly big mayflies like green drakes? And the verdict's out on that.
Yeah.
And but I caught a few fish on Fishing Creek, and but none on pens. I mean, I went there, and Jim and we were walking along the creek, and the water just looked dead. And a crowd of guys was there, and they were all standing shoulder to shoulder on the banks. And I just said, Jim, I don't want to do this. And he says, well, there's nothing hatching anyway.
You made the right
Good
call.
enough.
So we actually left, and everybody's still, oh, you're leaving too soon. You're leaving too soon. And we went up into Coburn, made a left, and went out to follow Penns Creek.
Mm-hmm.
We got down into the water, and there were flies hatching, but no trout were taking them. I caught a couple on Stonefly nymphs. But while we're fishing there, these guys come driving up that had told us, don't leave, you're leaving too early. And they said, you seeing anything? And I said, lots of bugs, no trout.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting observation.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, in defense of those guys, the majority of my experiences fly fishing for green drake have been on Penns Creek,
Mm-hmm.
and I've gone a couple times with Mr. Freeze,
Mm-hmm.
and pretty much in my experience, like the hatch does not happen in, like my notes say, late afternoon or evening, and it's pretty much like when I'm on Penns Creek, like it's at night.
Yeah, it's all the same thing. I've had great hatches up on Cross Fork Creek, and that's a small little stream, and it had blizzard returns. It wasn't a hatch. The coffin flies were coming back,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just clouds of them, and they were coming up, flying into my face, going up my nose. I mean, they were unbelievable.
Yeah, they're like I said, it's like fishing amongst bats. But
Yeah.
when I was on Penns Creek, I think the fishing finally, like same thing. Like we kind of queued up, found our little stretch, and that's the stretch you're gonna fish. And
Yeah.
it was probably around like 9 or 10 o'clock, I think, when like the bite started.
Yeah, full
I think-
sundown.
Yeah, I think like we fished till like probably like 1 or 2, I think.
Oh, really?
And it was that's when it got good, and like I caught a bunch of trout and stuff. But it's one of those interesting hatches where, like, at least on Penns Creek, there's so many freaking flies. Like the odds of them taking your fly is kind of luck of the draw.
In the peak of the hatch, that's what it's like everywhere. Kettle Creek's like that.
Yeah.
Cross Fork, Pine Creek. I mean,
you mentioned the coffin fly, and that's what the spinner's called. And
Right.
basically, green drakes are kind of unique and interesting in the fact that you have this giant green and yellow mayfly, but its spinner actually turns black and white.
yeah,
Like it
Really?
died.
yeah,
Yeah, like totally different color scheme when it's a spinner.
Yeah.
Totally different.
yeah.
I did not know that.
Well, it kind of makes fishing at night a little nicer though, because it's a lot easier to see a giant white fly
Oh, yeah. Makes sense.
floating down the creek than a olive green one. But
Yeah.
another important thing, and since we just listed a whole bunch of bodies of water where green drake can be found, it is super important to probably, if you're going to buy your flies, buy them from the local fly shop.
Yep.
As close as you can get to the stream that you're fishing.
Yeah.
Because the green drake hatches they're large flies, but there's a world of difference between like a single XL hook and a 3XL hook. And if the stream has 3XLs coming off and you're trying to throw your little single XL or even just a plain size 12,
Mm-hmm.
like they're not going to take your size 12 because that's clearly not the right size if they're looking at 3XL ones. And the opposite's also true. If you're throwing your 3XL and they're hatching in a single XL or just a standard 12,
Yeah.
it's why it's important that you want to buy your green drake flies from like your local fly shop, because they know they tend to stock the size that hatches
Yep.
there.
Or at least
Yeah.
they try to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I noticed that 4 or 5 years ago, I went up to the Grand Canyon of Pennsylvania and met an old college friend up there, and I was kind of shocked. The green drakes, they were tying on their lines were half the size of the ones I use at Penns Creek.
Mm-hmm.
And I was shocked by that. And another another guy was there. And he was saying, "Oh, do you fish Penns a lot?" And I said, "No, not really." I said, "Usually when the green drake hatches." And he says, "Well, I agree with you." He says, "Those flies are so big down there." And I said, "I noticed that. Here they're much smaller. In Kettle Creek, they're smaller. And even Fishing Creek, they're smaller than what's on Penns Creek. And you're talking just over the mountainside."
The ones I've seen on Fishing Creek are probably as big as Penns Creek.
Yeah.
Because like I actually took a photo with one because I was it was like the first time I'd seen a green drake on camp, and I actually have a photo of it and an ant standing, like a normal black ant, being right next to each other. And yeah, that flies. It's every bit as big as the ones at Penns Creek.
Well,
To your point earlier, though, how you said, do fish ever get full? I mean, how you were saying that there's some of those flies that like those trout have to take 2 or 3 bites at to actually consume one. Like I gotta imagine there's some regulation there to make sure they don't just like fill them up to the gills, no pun intended.
Well, I've caught trout with bugs sticking out of their mouth.
I'm sure.
And they're so stuffed.
Yeah.
But do they reach a point where they just can't eat anymore?
I guess when the bugs block their teeth. Might be it.
You know. But
no, it's one of those things that I'd love to actually.
Well, you know, for years and years and years, Jim and I says, "Boy, we got to get up, fish the green drake hatch, and just go up there for like a week, and just start to the north and work to the south, or vice versa, and do that." And we never did that until within the last 5 years. I think the first year that after your mom died, we did that, and. But you find out that the hatches last longer on some streams than others. Now, Fishing Creek's colder than Penns Creek.
Yeah.
And the hatch lasted longer because that was the only stream we really had a continuous hatch with the trout feeding on them.
The other thing I've heard about green drakes is you have to have how do I want to put this? A certain length of warm days before they actually come off. You find that to be true, or?
I can't say I have any information on that. It's right around Memorial Day, so that's when it's getting warm.
Yeah, which would make sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just a crowdsourced kind of
I can't say that, but all hatches are temperature dependent anyway.
Yeah.
So it could very well be true.
It will make sense, if they only, say the water temp has to be 65.5 or whatever. It's going to take probably a substantial couple warm days to get the water temperature up to that point.
Yeah.
But.
That's probably exactly what it is.
Okay.
That would be my guess is, you have 70, 80 degree days, probably not going to be enough to warm that water up to where the fly or the green drakes are like, oh, yeah, it's time to go.
Oh, especially if it's spring fed?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which would kind of make sense why Fishing Creek would be a little more delayed because
they're all confused.
It's going to take a while to warm that up enough.
Oh, yeah.
It would also make sense why, they're starting to, or they hatch in the muddy kind of riffles and not riffles, but the muddy parts, which in Fishing Creek would be the shallow parts, which would actually warm up instead of the actual cold water running through the center of the creek.
May explain why I saw them on camp.
To answer your question, though, if they get full, there's plenty of just simple Googling that says yes.
I don't believe it.
The simple answer is that they have just general receptors in their stomachs that send it to their brain and say you're full.
Yeah, full
just
switch. Okay.
Just like anybody else. Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
it does.
That's one of those things that I can't imagine. Like at some point, they'd literally eat themselves to death.
Correct.
Well, I mean, we've all seen posts of like muskie and stuff that died eating another ginormous muskie.
Yeah.
So.
Or beaver.
Or beaver. Seen that one too, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You sent me that. Oh, that was a while ago now. That had to be a big fish.
Yeah,
It's
no
fantastic.
doubt.
Take out a beaver.
Beavers are not small.
I think I've seen a video of a guy taking a beaver out of a flathead catfish mouth and then resuscitate the fish.
Oh,
And then it comes back. No, the beaver was long gone. like long gone.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Some of those catfish, they get quite large.
Volkswagen
Yeah.
sized.
Yeah,
like a damn alligator.
Yeah.
yeah.
Terrifying creatures. That's like you see all those. It pops up every once, like 5 or 10 years. Somebody fishes the, right before the dam, and they actually like drop something down far enough, and then like they have to get a winch to pull the fish out of there. It's just
Oh,
some
yeah.
just gargantuan
Well, that was
prehistoric thing. Paleozoic
what body of
Megalodon.
There was a body of water where like it was a dam and
Called the ocean.
no, it was a freshwater body of water.
Sorry, Ross. Sorry.
It was a freshwater body of water, and like the divers started refusing to go down and like inspect the dam because there were such large fish down.
He was
Oh,
in West
heck.
Virginia.
Was it West Virginia?
I don't remember exactly which one, but I remember
Yeah,
the
but
story.
the divers that like are in charge of making sure everything's copacetic with the dam, like beneath the water level, were like, yeah, we're not doing that anymore. There's fish down there that can eat us.
Yeah, wow.
That's great.
And like they were, I believe the one guy was like an underwater well or underwater welder for like oil derricks and stuff. So he's seen big fish.
yeah. Sharks probably a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And groupers.
Yeah.
Little
Definitely groupers.
gnarly squids. Yeah.
I'd be more worried about the grouper and sharks than a squid.
Squids would terrify me, I think.
Yeah.
Because they got all the tentacles and the suction cup things.
I can only.
they like just grip you up
But the thing is they don't have a huge mouth.
but they have one.
Yeah, well, it's more,
They've got,
it's
they've
more
got
of
a
a
beak.
beak.
Which
I think
even-
that would be worse.
Yeah.
Well-
I can only hold 2 arms.
I think it would go shark. I think it would be shark, squid, grouper.
See, I think I'd go.
Because grouper's going to leave you alone.
No.
No.
I think it would.
Those things eat babies, man.
Yeah,
Well,
they get huge. Goliath grouper. Yeah,
I've seen them. Yes.
they're like a catfish on steroids.
They're Goliath sized.
Ah, I see what you did.
and they're angry. They're angry all the time.
I think they're more temperamental, though, or less temperamental, I think is the right word, because I think if you just swat at it, it'll go away.
I don't think so. They
I-
get pretty angry at guys that try poking them with spear guns.
I can tell you,
mean, don't
I'm not
stab
going to try.
Like I've
Let's
done-
try on a smaller one that won't
I've dove
succeed.
With, I've
in
dove
eating.
with sharks.
You've what?
I've dove with sharks,
Okay.
like a myriad of them. I mean, never a great white,
Oh,
never a
doesn't count. Doesn't count.
bull shark, but like tiger, sand tiger, lemon, all the fruit flavored sharks. Dove with them all, and sharks just never bothered me.
Fruit flavored sharks.
Apple cinnamon tart.
The strawberry shark.
Like
Strudel?
Like my biggest nightmare would be the nurse shark.
Nerf sharks.
Nurse.
I thought you said Nerf. Isn't Nerf
Like the one
a
Tim
shark?
caught in the Beaver River.
No, that was what was that shit?
That-
Bonnet head shark.
Bonnet head
Yeah.
shark, yeah.
Yeah.
No, nurse sharks because they like eat via suction.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
if they bite you, they literally latch onto you like a suction cup, and the way they remove them is they take you and the shark out of the water and then like cut the shark's head off to break
Cool.
the suction.
You can't even pour salt on it because it's a saltwater fish.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Like,
But yeah, like sharks never bothered me. Groupers and
You never swam with the danger ones.
groupers and barracudas are the ones that made me
Ooh,
nervous.
barracuda.
I've seen some shit with barracuda.
They're very fast.
Yeah, they are greasy.
they're so fast they named a car after them.
Yeah.
And a
muscle
song.
car.
Absolutely. It was a great car, too.
Yeah, I was
Old
diving.
school Mopar.
For sure.
I was diving in North Carolina.
Go on and raise up.
We were like 130 feet down, looking at I think some shipwreck or something. And like like whenever we'd go, we'd always get a guide, because we
Yeah.
were super into diving. But it's like
It prevents death pretty well.
Helps,
plus I have a
helps.
tendency to run out of air, so it seems like a good backup plan.
Yeah.
But there were like other people that are like, oh, I'm super pro diver, I don't need to do anything better, and like like they all had like inflatable like diver, like you inflate it and it shoots up and like diver down below.
Oh,
so it
yeah, the
pops
little
up so the
red
boat
thing.
doesn't run you over.
Yeah. Or yellow.
And like I mean I had that too, but you don't really need it with the guide because we just went up the anchor line.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like free swimming up under their diver down below. As soon as that dude released that thing, freaking like 6 foot long barracuda just went pop.
Homing missile after the
Oh, yeah.
inflatable buoy.
Well, because
That's
it, like,
awesome.
It shoots air and bubbles like it's a wounded
Oh,
fish
yeah,
as it goes
yeah.
up, and the barracuda just mauled it.
CO2 canister musky fly.
Ooh.
But that was like one of the things the guides like would all, like the people that run the charters are like, yeah, you can't wear jewelry if there's barracuda
Yeah.
because they see flashy stuff and they're because that was like one of the scariest moments when I was getting my certification. One of the scariest moments when I was getting my certification, I had a health issue which caused me to have to come back to Florida a second time to get my certification. I know, it's shocking. I tore my esophagus from my stomach. It was a good time.
You're prone injury.
I just have weird
Injury prone.
Yeah. No. He is prone injury.
But so I had to go back down to finish my certification, and so like the rest of our party went and just did their we're certified, we're gonna go tour the reef or whatever. Well, they kicked up like an 8-foot long barracuda.
Sweet.
And like I'm doing the certification in the freaking reef, but we can't. It's a reef. It's like basically a miniature valleys everywhere.
Yeah.
Death zone.
And we basically freaking go with our guide and like pop out, and like the other group kicked this 8-foot barracuda out, and we literally pop out 2 feet in front of it. It was like, oh shit.
That'd be really
Silver
cool.
bullet.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Teeth the size of.
Yeah, its teeth were like this freaking big.
Yeah, you see it for about half a second and then it disappears because of its body shape
Fangs.
and speed.
Look
But
at the
it
balls.
actually like it's kind of crazy because they have like cartoonish teeth.
Oh yeah.
Do barracudas take green drakes?
No,
Maybe. I don't know if they're big enough.
We kind of got way off.
I don't know if the
topic
guy's
there.
name is Drake or not.
well, I mean, I think I covered all the notes on green drakes, and now we're on to other stuff.
Okay.
And we'll come back in the next section about the other fly.
Thank you,
Okay.
Jim.
Actually, we have
Thank
two
you.
flies to talk about, just saying.
2?
You don't know about the one, but yeah.
Yeah. Either way, that's a passion project. We'll
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
the one, the notes. Yeah, I know about the one.
whiteboard special.
Yeah, that one.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Hello, and welcome back to Dangerous Fly Fishing episode 81. I'm Chris Cooper. That's Jim Carney. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, thanks.
I'm getting better. Also in studio, Mr. Matt Carney, as well as Ross Slice. Skoka, how are you, sirs?
Doing fantastic, buddy. Glad to have you back.
Fan-fucking-de.
We spent the break looking up nightmare fuel, so
Yeah.
gonna sleep well tonight.
Cannibalistic fish?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm going
no
to-
thanks.
Still not scary as fish, man.
I'm going to sleep very well on dry land away from
Well, the sad part is like that Goliath tiger fish or whatever the hell it is. Like that's actually in freshwater
Stop.
Don't tell me that.
in Africa.
Oh, I'm not worried about that.
And you know, it's freaking crazy. I saw like because
When yellow stonefly hatches?
Well, that. I saw.
I tried.
because like fishing stuff pops up on my Instagram feed all the time for
Yeah.
obvious reasons. But apparently there was like a flood or something, and it blew like a bunch of bull sharks into a golf course pond.
Cool.
And then the water receded, and basically the bull sharks are still there. Like they have adapted and started breeding in the freshwater pond.
Nope. Where's that at?
Australia.
Oh, anything can happen
yeah,
over there.
Yeah, they've been there for 17 years.
Everything in Australia is trying to kill you.
I'm surprised they haven't been like, I don't know, removed in that period of time.
Well, I mean, it's kind of cool to marketing wise saying, hey, yeah, we're the golf course with the sharks.
Yeah, don't fall in, drunk guy. But they probably also have like alligators and
Crocodiles.
Crocodiles.
sure, probably those two.
They got the big, mean saltwater crocodiles.
That and a bunch of snapping turtles and shit.
They've got something even worse.
Yeah.
Australians.
Ooh.
These guys are dangerous.
Good night.
Yeah.
You know what they don't have, Ross?
Little yellow stoneflies.
Weird. How'd you know?
Unimine, bro. Like,
How'd you know that they didn't have that?
weird.
You know who does have it?
North America?
No. Most of North America, actually.
Yeah, that's why I said North America.
In case nobody picked it up, our next fly is going to be the little yellow stonefly. Context clues, ladies and gentlemen.
So, by chance, do you know how they lay their eggs, good sirs?
One moment. Refreshing.
Sorry.
So they're very little yellow stoneflies are very similar to a lot of the other stoneflies, obviously, kind of as the name implies. Very similar characteristics to the rest of them. The main differences are kind of what we're going to go over here. obviously they're yellow. What's the
What?
They're yellow?
Oh, shit.
Yes, yellow Sallies. I think that was the name you called them, Jim.
Yep, yellow Sallies.
And this is
Fun. That's fun.
this is another fly that I've never actually seen in person, which is disappointing to me. But I'm happy to learn about them.
Yep,
Um,
they're quite spread out.
yeah,
I've seen them on a number of streams.
I also kind of wonder if that's another one of those flies that I thought was something else because of my lack of knowledge of dry flies and also the color blindness thing. I don't know, but it's like I said, it's kind of why I stick to underwater, because I am bad at identifying the correct dry flies. So when you're trying to match the hatch, you're fighting an uphill battle.
Yeah.
Fair.
Trying to ice skate uphill, if you will.
Kind of feel like the one time we went to Yellowstone in my youth, there was a huge yellow stonefly hatch.
Is that where they got the name?
Well, I'm not. I don't remember that particular time, but we were out there.
Well, I remember we pulled over and like got out of the van we had rented because like they were hatching. We got out, pulled over at some bridge because you wanted to look at the creek or river or whatever because the stoneflies were hatching. They were literally like locusts, like just swarms of them everywhere.
Out west, there's a lot of the salmon flies and a lot of other big flies, stoneflies hatch, and that's what I was talking to Ross earlier. That there aren't very many stoneflies that you have an opportunity to use dry flies for in the east.
Yeah.
The little Sally or the little Sallies are one, and I was saying the black you find in the wintertime actually.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the stonefly activity in the east is done with nymphs, as the stoneflies, as you know, crawl out on the rocks and then fly away, so they're not really available to the trout other than in nymphal form,
Right.
except for the yellow Sallies and the little black ones in the spring.
Which it makes complete sense now that you're bringing it up, but I've still getting into my dry fishing expertise. Like it's strange that such a prevalent fly would be so hard to fish for. Like when I think of fly fishing and matching the hatch, I think of a dry fly.
Right.
One of the patterns I've been most successful on is a stonefly nymph, probably because you told me, "Oh, throw a stonefly; they're everywhere," you know. But like you said, they're not really accessible to trout unless they get picked up and blown off a rock, stuff like that, because they crawl along the bottom, like you said.
And they crawl out of the stream and hatch on the rocks on the side of the stream.
Right. And
or the brush, whatever.
Yeah, out of the water.
Out of the water, yeah.
Which...
Was it you that was with me? We were fishing, I think it was you, me, and Nick. We were fishing Pine Creek, and we found that one vertical boulder that just had like dozens of stonefly husks.
That's when I think that was the first year I started fly fishing.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's always the fly fisherman's trick to go turn over a rock and see what's hatching or see what's in the river. And Matt was walking ahead of me because he was a better wader at the time. And, well, he was teaching me how to wade to not blow out the rest of the river.
Yeah.
Because a ninja.
Exactly.
Now he's just trying to not blow out his other knee.
Fact check true.
Yeah.
But no, he said, "Hey, you don't even need to turn this one over." And he just points, and there's like a billion of them. It looked like something out of a horror movie. But
Cool.
it's like, oh, well, I understand. I know what stoneflies are now.
Some of them were pretty good size too, like
2
inch, 2.5 or so.
Very, very large, to say the least.
Yeah.
They were not little yellow stoneflies, but they were just stone.
Above average.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were black stoneflies.
Yeah.
Kind of to move on a little bit too in the rest of this. Cooper, you asked earlier, how do they lay their eggs?
Yes, I did.
And they make repeated landings and drop a little bit of eggs each time. Kind
Like
of.
a touch and go.
Touch and go, exactly.
Gotcha.
From the Air Force, man.
Ah,
I know what you got that from. But yeah, it's
planes and stuff.
And when do they do that?
typically late afternoon, early evening, similar to a green drake, but a little bit beforehand. Again, in a little bit of moderately fast water, nothing crazy fast. You're not going to fish that in the actual riffles, as far as I can tell. But later in the day is the appropriate time to catch, I guess you'd call that not quite a spinner, but they're laying eggs. Jim, what would you call that, an actual spinner, or
Not until it's actually dying.
not until it's
Spinners
actually
are
dead?
Actually dying when they fall on the water.
Okay, so it's still the
You might
done
see
pattern.
a twitch or two, but I don't know what they actually call the egg laying phase.
Yeah, neither do I.
Be just a done, I guess, up until it turned into a spinner.
Yeah, I guess if the spinner is the dead fly,
Right?
the
Yeah.
done's
The
the
real question is do stoneflies die after mating? Mayflies are notorious for only living like 24 hours.
Yeah.
But I've never heard that about stoneflies. So
That-
maybe
that's-
they live on and breed for years to come.
I don't think they do, but I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, they're a bug. They're only going to live a few years. It's not
Yeah.
like they're going to be out there 80 years looking
I'd
at
say-
retirement at their 10 million grandkids saying, "Oh, I had a good life, honey."
I'd say winter. Is probably
Probably. That might get them. But you never know. I mean, mosquitoes survive the winter.
Yeah.
It's been-
Well, a lot of midges survive the winter too.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Bugs are surviving the winter, man.
Yeah.
Hell, even the alligators learn how to survive the winter.
I don't know if that'd be interesting to find out if the once they lay their eggs they die or not. I don't really know, to be very honest with you. I can't say I've ever seen a spinner fall with stoneflies though.
It needs.
Neither can I. That's
Yeah.
why I'm saying I
Yeah.
kind of wonder if they live until they get got by birds or winter.
I have to assume, and this is just a completely wild ass guess, that they probably lay their eggs and then land back on the shore and just kind of die in the grass.
That's kind of what I feel like too.
Yeah.
I think they live on. I'd like to think they live on.
As long as they believe in themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I actually, I think that was one massive failure on our part in our research is knowing whether they die or not. So that's on us.
You got the Google machines there.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing, Ross?
Taking a drink.
I gave you this fly.
Funny
since-
enough, he has a laptop in front of him. He's talking about, oh, what are you doing, Ross?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have a laptop.
It's not on camera. You can't prove
Yeah. Can't prove anything. It's not on
Move
camera.
your left hand really, really fast.
it. Pixels
Forward.
Happen.
Oh, careful with how you direct yourself.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Jeez
Sorry,
Louise.
it's the left hand. You'll be fine.
Got a Polish guy sitting right next to you.
Oh my god.
But
Give me some filler material, man.
since these stoneflies crawl out of the water, a good spot to fish for them, like when they're going up to hatch, is
In the middle.
No, it's going to be along the shore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because they crawl out. So much like some of those other mayflies we discussed
Oh,
that
yeah,
crawl
yeah.
out to hatch. That's where you fish the stoneflies. You generally tend to want to fish your stonefly nymphs closer to shore.
How do you feel about that, Jim?
Uh,
Do you agree?
unless I actually see them moving to the shore, I would still fish in the places where they normally live.
Oh,
Now,
sure.
when they're moving, if you can actually see them moving, that might be the shore might be a good one. But I'm still going to be in the middle of the stream.
Fair enough.
Well, I mean, you're going to want to fish anywhere they are, but
Yeah,
that's something to consider. Is if they're moving towards the shore, you may want to start directing your flies towards the shore.
To answer our question, they typically live about 1 to 4 weeks after they actually hatch.
Okay.
So not 4 years and years and have that.
Nobody said years and years and years.
Well, you said
literally
80, I
said
think.
80 and
I said
100
I'd
billion
like to
grandchildren.
think that's how they lived,
Yeah.
but
Either way, 1 to 4 weeks.
1
and
to
then
4 weeks.
when they die, they kind of just fall where they may. A lot of them wind up in the creek and just kind of dead drift down. There is no real
spinner fall.
spinner
Okay.
fall per se, just
Oh.
because it's
I was
somewhat.
gonna say I never ever saw one. So no, I'm glad we discussed that. Now I know.
I am too, because now I know not to try to throw stonefly or spinner patterns.
Yeah.
boy, that's a hell of a marketing tool. That we maybe need to start tying up some stonefly spinner patterns and start marketing them to people.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the only thing you can catch trout on.
Yeah.
Stonefly.
It's a new thing. You've never seen it before. It's the best.
Follow-up question, though, for
Yeah.
this particular fly. What type of egg patterns do they lay? Do we know?
You don't usually fish their egg pattern.
No, that's not why I'm asking that. I'm just out of curiosity.
What do you?
So when they lay their eggs, I know we're talking about them doing touch and go type laying. Is it in a cluster? or is it kind of like
A carpet
bomb type deal? Like, what are we doing?
They, from what I can understand about them, they kind of land on the surface, drop a small cluster, fly away.
Cluster bomb.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
not quite a cluster bomb, but yeah, close enough. It's not like they're just flying up the stream, laying them willy nilly. It seems like with other stoneflies, they kind of find where they live as nymphs, and then
They generally like oxygenated water.
yeah,
So they'd be in the riffles.
Okay.
exactly, and they'll fly down, drop,
Yeah.
find another spot, and go. The other
Gotcha.
thing that when you see yellow stoneflies on a creek, that is another great indicator that it's a pretty high quality water body. Very clean, very contaminant free water body, to say it again. But one of those things that when you actually see a yellow stonefly, you know you're in a pretty naturally
healthy water.
healthy water, naturally sustaining, which may give you a couple other indications on what you might be able to fish.
Oh, okay.
Or what you might be able to throw to fish, just because,
Yeah.
like I said, everything is so clean. You might not get so much of the muck with the rest of the other stuff. I know it's a terrible way to describe it, but naturally reproducing, you might be in a great spot for actual wild trout, actual like consistent timed out hatches instead of just going to a stocked area and throwing pellet flies kind of deal, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you're saying now. Prior to that, I didn't understand, but I got it once you mentioned the pellet fly.
It takes me a while sometimes.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. The ye old bread fly or pellet fly.
Yeah, it's those little things in fly fishing that I'm finally starting to pick up on. Like we were talking a couple weeks ago about seeing those hellbenders and how that's like a indication that it's a good quality body of water.
Yep.
And again with the yellow stoneflies, like if I see that, it's like, oh, okay, I'm in a spot that at least on my performance, I need to make sure that I'm leaving it better than I found it, and fishing an appropriate kind of way.
What is that?
Is this what a yellow stonefly would look like?
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Show the world. That's a terrible picture.
Yeah.
Hey, it kind of looks like a yellow stonefly.
Kinda.
Or this one?
Kinda.
Yeah.
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 They are yellow.
Yeah. Very yellow.
That looks pretty big, though. I don't know.
Well, this is probably zoomed in.
It's also probably just the regular yellow stonefly as opposed to the little yellow stonefly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean they show the
think
difference
they're-
between the males and the females. The female stonefly, the yellow, has longer wings coming off the back. It actually extends past their body, versus the male about halfway, a little over halfway across their body.
Yeah, it's another good pickup on that, which, again, like, I don't know how much of a difference it actually makes
Right? Yeah,
to
with
fish a
us.
male versus female pattern, but it's an interesting concept because we were talking about mayflies and how the males will fly vertically and bounce up and down along the stream, and the females just fly horizontally, and that's kind of how they reproduce. Is they pretty much run into each other. Not uncommon to a college bar where, but it's one of those things that if you see a different pattern and the fish are keying off one of them or none of them or both of them, you might be able to dial that in a little bit better.
Yeah.
And I wish I was a little bit better at identifying that, but I still struggle, like I've said before.
Yeah. That's okay.
All part of the learning process, I
Oh,
guess.
absolutely, yeah.
Looks like they're pretty prevalent in the Canada area as well as these states, both left and right side of the United States versus, and not so much the middle, like no Texas, no Louisiana.
Too warm a water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but Canada looks like it's basically one of their larger, besides us, because we're better. But
Because Canada's in North America.
yeah, but Canada.
Yeah. No, it's definitely I don't want to say a colder water because the yellow stoneflies are hatching in a warmer water environment, but typically a lot of these stoneflies that I've been successful with are in colder water creeks. And obviously Canada being a little bit further north is going to be little bit colder.
Yeah, that's why I'm not 100% on this map I'm looking at, because it included Florida. So it doesn't make sense to me.
Well, that's one of those things that
Well, Florida has a lot of springs,
It does have springs, yeah.
and the springs are quite cold.
Yep.
Okay.
I can tell you from diving them.
that's another scary thought. Diving springs in Florida.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
No.
Go dive with bass and whatever other
And
fish is it.
evidently yellow sallies you're diving with, too.
Well, I didn't see any yellow sallies.
Yeah.
You weren't looking.
I was not looking for stoneflies while I was diving 100 feet down in
No,
basically
you
a
wouldn't
giant
see 'em
cave
down there either.
Yeah.
or sinkhole.
They would have been in the nymph form in that.
I mean, I did I did a Superman into the bottom because it was like a thick mud bottom, trying to get as deep as I could on my watch reading for maximum depth.
Boy, you just don't like living, do you?
I went in up to my shoulder and it was like 110 feet.
Did you get nervous?
Hey, if you're diving in a cave, don't stick your hand in the mud. That's
It was actually
That's
kind
fair.
of. It was actually
That's
kind
like Indiana Jones type knowledge, right? Like,
Yeah.
just don't do that.
yeah. Remember his like sidekick that like gets hit in the head with the arrow? Yeah, that's one of those.
Short round?
No, not short.
get hit in the head with an arrow.
I don't know. I just said the first one that came to mind.
Well, it's funny you mention it because I actually got stuck.
By short round?
No, going through a swim through at the bottom of this cave. I was like 80 feet down, and I was trying, like, there was a hole like just big enough you could swim through. So I went through it and I got stuck, and I was like, what is going on here?
Forgot
So
the
it
tank
wasn't-
on your back.
It
No,
wasn't big enough to swim.
My
through.
no, it was
right.
big enough to swim through, but my secondary regulator, like the one for your friend,
Sure.
it apparently came on snap from my BCD, buoyancy control device, the vest jacket thing you wear with weights, and it got like pinched somewhere, and so like it was like literally holding me from going forward. And yeah, luckily I had been in a lot of dives and didn't panic.
Yeah, and decided to
But
stick
it was
your
just
arm in the
really,
mud.
it was just really funny because like I'm literally stuck 80 feet underwater, and Sean's sitting behind me like, "What is this idiot doing?" Because he didn't know anything was wrong because I couldn't signal him or anything.
Sticking his arm. Yeah,
How do
'cause your
you-
other hand was in the mud.
How do
No,
you
this
swim?
wasn't in the mud.
So say you're stuck in a hole like this, right? You're literally like, I don't care where your arms are, whether they're forward or Superman like kind of behind you. How do you swim backwards with flippers on?
You don't. You die.
You just pull your hand back.
What?
I just pulled my arm back.
You got to push yourself.
There's
But-
no air, so there's no.
No. So that's not my question about air.
You don't swim backwards with flippers.
You use your hand.
Oh,
Not the hand that's not in the mud.
or just press yourself off of like your surroundings, I guess.
If you have surroundings in
Well,
this case,
you did in this case.
Huh?
You said you were swimming through a hole, so I assumed you had something to
Well,
press.
no,
off of.
that's not when I stuck my arm in the mud. The hole was on my way back up.
I get that.
But no, basically, I figured out what happened because I did the what's going on, and tank's clear, and I'm like doing the checks of everything, and it's like, wait a minute, why is my secondary over here? So then I just push myself backwards
Okay,
out of the
so yeah.
swim through.
So to answer my question, Ross says no, you can't swim backwards.
You don't swim.
You
push.
also said you just push yourself backwards,
You technically can swim backwards using your hands,
not your feet.
not your feet.
It's Yellowstone flies.
I thought we were done with those. That's why. I
Yeah,
asked.
pretty much.
You are done with those.
I thought we were done with those. This was like, oh,
I was
that's
wrapping
why
it up.
a random
That's why I
question.
went on a side tangent.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I get it. But no, it's like we said before, it's very similar to a lot of the other stonefly patterns. It is the yellow version of it, and unfortunately, there's not really much more to go on these, just because it's just a yellow stonefly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have as much variation in species because, like, I think there's like 60 species or something like that, are like listed as yellow stoneflies. There's
It's
a
ridiculous.
ton of species, but there's not as much differential between them like there is with mayflies.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like we've talked about before. There's so many different bugs that are replicated by a very similar fly, as I'm sure.
Oh,
Jim can
yeah,
attest to.
sure.
It's just, it's slightly frustrating at the end of the day, but I don't really
Yeah.
know what else to say about it other than that.
Well, I
It's
can't
frustrating.
imagine how packed my fly box is. And just imagine if I tied flies for the 80-some mayflies and the different color variations, how many more flies would be in my box?
I'm glad
Yeah.
you brought that up, Jim. Is that like we've talked about with sulfurs, how they can kind of be slightly different colors. Have you noticed that with stonefly patterns?
No, I have not. I mean, the only time I worry about it is when it's a dry fly.
Okay.
If it's a nymph underwater black, and like you says, one fly can cover a wide variety.
Yeah. That's why
And
pheasant
that's
tails
why I
are
don't
great.
worry too much about color variations.
Okay. And
Pheasant
underneath.
tails, hare's ear, pretty much got your mayflies covered.
Yeah.
yeah. And with the stoneflies, like you were saying, it's normally a black or a brown
Or
in the actual
a
nymph
golden
stage.
one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to get, maybe that's a next year thing for me after I get done with the streamers and the
Streamers.
wet flies. But like,
Only using stoneflies?
no,
Yeah. Well,
not that much of a sadist.
uh-uh.
But no, it's one of those things that like I've always wondered whether or not, like, because you see the green stonefly patterns, you see orange, you see red.
I still haven't figured that out yet.
I've never caught anything off of a stonefly nymph pattern other than a black.
Brown, golden, and black is the only ones I carry. I was on the internet today, and there was an olive stonefly, and I'm
Never
like,
seen one.
I've never seen an olive stonefly in my life.
Yeah.
Catches more fishermen than fish.
Yeah.
That's why we have to make the stonefly spinner.
Exactly.
Just make a tie-dye one.
The
Call it a
secret
day.
sauce pattern.
I
Yeah.
don't think people are going to buy the tie-dye
No.
stonefly.
Well, that was for me. But,
California, they will.
That's going to bit me.
Walk us out of here, Matt.
Yeah.
As always, we greatly appreciate you guys listening to us. It's great to have Cooper back. And again, congratulations, buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Follow us on Instagram at Dangerous Fly Fishing. Search for us on YouTube at Dangerous Fly Fishing. Shoot us an email because we love to hear back from you guys.
Yeah, and the other thing we've been told by some of our listeners is we have a couple of ads popping up on Spotify, maybe YouTube. Just to throw it out there, we are not sponsored by whatever company is giving us ads. I'm sure with the algorithm, we're starting to get more ads involved in the podcast, but we just wanted to throw it out there. Don't take it as we are recommending whatever somebody else is selling to you. Just a disclaimer.
Yeah, it's not us. As I was saying, shoot us an email at dangerousflyfishing@gmail.com. We love hearing about you guys. Give us episode suggestions. Let us know any questions you have. We'll do our best to provide answers. Mr. Cooper.
For the first time in 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It has.
But yeah, as always, we appreciate everybody from every platform tuning in. And as always, good luck. Don't suck. Stay dangerous.